What happened to your neck? Got kirked. Vaush, I was banquet serving this morning at a Huntington Bank investors quarterly meeting, and one speaker gave a segment about AI investment and how it's a hyperscaler. Yeah, I mean, AI has always been a financial instrument. This is actually like the thing that distinguishes AI conceptually from the dot-com bubble. The dot-com bubble was used as a financial weapon, but at the same time, it did legitimately represent a fundamental paradigm shift in the way business is conducted. Now everyone shops online, right? But AI has always been, at its core, just a vehicle for speculative investment. That's the reason why people sometimes get curious. They're like, why do all of these like AI hype men, you know, why are they speaking at college graduation ceremonies? Why do they look surprised when they get booed by everyone? Listen, their audience isn't the students, man. Their audience is the people watching. It's the same reason why they're forcing AI into every tool, every browser, every piece of software. It's not for you. It's for the investor. It's meant to convince them, you know? Like, crypto and NFT companies did not buy Times Square advertising space to convince you to get into NFTs. They did it to convince people already into NFTs that they were booming. You get me? The purpose of buying ad space in Times Square is not to get new people in. It's to get existing whales more hyped about how everything's going to the moon. Same shit with AI. Governor Whitmer caught in a hot mic talking shit about voters against data centers with the Oracle CEO. God, she's so fucking evil, dude.
We're used to people saying no, that's doing it anyway.
We're used to people saying fuck no and doing it anyway.
We're used to people saying no, that's doing it anyway.
And even they can live through a winter like you did. I don't know, it's like they have people have a lot of confidence.
Bragging to Oracle's CEO, man. Jesus Christ. Epstein at Logic? Yeah. Well, that's all nasty. Gotta kiss the ring sometimes? That's all she's been doing, man. Aaron Brockovich launched a website tracking AI data center projects. Oh, nice. There's, I assume, quite a few going on right now. Blech. It's important to not mistake data centers for AI data centers, right? Like data centers that are being built or financed for the sake of, you know, OpenAI or whatever else. Because data centers on their own are fine. There's nothing wrong with data centers. We need them. They're literally necessary for the internet to function. That's fine. It's the AI data centers specifically that are bad for obvious reasons. Whoa! Oh, community reported locations. Sorry, I just popped up all the community reported locations. So 33 operational, 67 under announced or building, 39 in pipeline, and then 5,027 community reported locations nationwide. Gotcha. Yeah, this is AI data center reporting. Yeah, I've seen people target data centers that aren't connected to the AI boom, which is like, you know, those are just ubiquitous. It's actually driven me a bit insane during my vacation. I plan on consuming no news to cleanse. I know I keep repeating this point, but I'm never going to stop repeating it. I really do think this is the plan. You induce mass apathy and disillusionment in liberals by subjecting them to a media environment where they are driven absolutely fucking insane and nothing matters. You know? Like, I think that one of the reasons liberals get blackpilled and stop engaging is because they are taken advantage of for their naive belief that the people who are talking to them through their TVs believe anything. You know what I mean? Like, this could drive you insane. If you were watching CNN and you thought that every presenter, every anchor, every writer was like a real person with real thoughts they were really expressing, it would drive you mad. It would actually make you insane. The only sane way to engage with the news is the understanding, the correct understanding, that everyone here is lying to you and all of them are just taking directives from their masters who are in league with the administration. That's it. Like, can you imagine being like airdropped or like veil of ignorance into North Korea and having to engage with the news media? Okay, like, I'll put it this way. In countries like Stalin's Soviet Union, North Korea, whatever else, my understanding is that by and large, even among people who are brainwashed or like pro-administration, pro-regime, they still understand that there's a lot of dishonesty coming out of the media, right? Like, if you were a supporter of Stalin during Stalin's reign, you might watch the TV or hear radio broadcasts and understand that the people in the government are lying, but you rationalize it. You're like, this doesn't line up with my understanding of the world, but they're trying their best. They don't have the best information. They're doing it for political purposes, but like the underlying intent is still good. They understand it's part of a game that they're a part of. Trump supporters do this, by the way. Trump supporters know they and their guys lie all the time, but they think it serves an underlying truth. Liberals don't have that framework to fall back on, so they either have to acknowledge that all of this is just willful dishonesty, or they have to believe it, which is like, I don't know how you survive that. Here's data. How Americans would cover an emergency $1,000 bill, pay from savings. Well, wait, like pay savings like emergency day fund? That might be fine. Charge a credit card, pay over time, pay the bill and cut other expenses, borrow from friends or family, take a personal loan. Yeesh. Read a recent study that found Canadians, despite having lower relative wages, have higher long-term financial stability. It all comes back to financial stabilization. You know why? Because the more you structure your economy as everyone has relatively high wages, but you need to save like $1 billion per each paycheck because one emergency could wipe you out, the more money you keep in savings, or in the stock market or whatever the fuck else, the more money the bigwigs have to play around with, and the lower the velocity of the money supply. It is you want to build an economy where everyone is spending their money as soon as they get it. That is the healthiest economy, no joke. An economy where like on average a person has $1 for like 3 months or something, that is the healthiest fucking economy. Whereas when every American is like, I make $100,000 a year, but I save like 40% of my income because one like medical incident could wipe out all of my wealth, you know? Like it maximizes the, or I guess just it minimizes the velocity of the money supply. Very not good. Very not good. So the oil field workers who buy a new F-150 every year are doing it right? No, because they're not buying those up front. They are getting those on loan, which is actually also part of the problem. They're not spending money, they're just creating debt, which is not good. I know I was joking, and I'm shutting you down. Get out of here. Delete your account. Oh, is YouTube chat mad? Vaush is not saying $1,000 means nothing. Obviously, that's a lot for most Americans. He's saying a $1,000 expense can pop up so easily. $1,000 is literally nothing if you are dealing with an emergency, but it's a lot if you're dealing with anything else. Like, it's such a weirdly asymmetrical economy where if you're talking about like any emergency, car trouble, medical trouble, whatever else, $1,000 is like a fucking drop in the bucket. But if you're talking about like, I don't know, regular consumer spending, yeah, $1,000 is potentially a lot of money, you know? But that's like not serviceable. It's insane to me that for $10 you can buy a t-shirt that was made on the other side of the planet, and that, like, the fibers for the shirt were farmed in this country, and then the fibers were woven in this country, and then they were stitched into a clothes in this country and then shipped over to you, and that's $10. But to get a plumber over to your house for 1 hour is $400. It makes no fucking sense. It makes literally no fucking sense. It, like, the whole economy makes no sense, and you can't, there's no rational, like, there's no amount of, like, you know, fiddly globehead neocon bullshit that you can employ to look at that and like actually defend. It's a completely irrational allocation of resources. It's insane. The shirt needs to be worth more and the plumber's time needs to be worth a lot less. Cars are so expensive, man. Velocity of money from 1960? Yup. I'm telling you, man, when historians are looking back over the fall of, I guess, like the neoliberalism causing the fall of capitalism, because I believe, by the way, that you could basically maintain capitalism indefinitely if you had the will to, like, force social welfare to be a priority. If you could maintain a social democracy, you could do so indefinitely as long as the people in charge stayed sane. The problem is that inevitably capital moves to the hands of people who are not sane, who are destructive. But this is the shit people are going to be talking about. This is what they're going to be referring to, man. It's all the velocity. It's gone. Are you looking at every piece of news and just having the velocity of money chart in your head? Dude, literally, like literally every single piece of news, it always decreases the velocity of money every time. Every single time, it always produces that outcome. Every development, every shift, every policy change, every regulatory adjustment, every single one of them lowers the velocity of money as we further financialize. It's crazy. I can't believe they invented an empirical statistic that sums up like the nature of the decline of the empire. Anyway. Trying to save, work out, no vices, have Medicaid, rice and beansing, and I've been told I have good social skills, so I'm following general advice, but I'm just inexperienced and don't know where to start in general. Yeah, I just can't help with any of that specific information, Not at Alpaca. Like, if you can practice the general, I would say, modern day survival skills, in the sense of like being financially responsible or whatever, if you can do that, if you can exercise those skills, I think that you're doing much better than most of your contemporaries. Like, you're starting good. But you're gonna have to hone those specifics yourself, because past a point, like, I just don't know what your situation is, you know? He's such a retard, he thinks he's so cool. I think it's funny that Hegseth is so desperate to appear cool, and he's also exactly what the chuds on Twitter wanted, but people still don't aura farm over him. Think about it. He's a 6 foot, like, tall, skinny, or kind of built white guy with Nazi tattoos on his body, and he's a hardline Christian nationalist. And in spite of that, the Nazis on Twitter do not aura farm with him. They don't. Like, people largely find him embarrassing, even their guys. He is exactly what they wanted. Also, by the way, I know maybe this is not like a novel observation, but in so many respects, is he not like Homelander? Does he not look and act like him in a bunch of... I feel like I don't see this comparison made that often, but I feel like there's an almost perfect alignment here. Visually, yes. Politically, yes. But also in terms of this, like, desperate to be liked, but very obviously insecure. It's almost a dead ringer. That's insulting to Anthony Starr. Isn't it, like, a huge compliment, though? China doesn't want America to collapse. No, but China... Listen, in the long arc, right? There is a gun in the middle of the room and everyone's scrambling for it. China has had a standoffish but mutually beneficial relationship with America for years, but I feel like that might be ending. Pax Americana is over. We have faltered. It's really just a matter of, like, when the collapse happens, how well positioned will China be? And if they're one of the only countries benefiting from the export of oil out of the Strait, they could benefit pretty handsomely. They could be one of the countries that comes out on top. They would probably do it in collaboration with their neighbors. I suspect that China would probably try to maintain good relationships with South Korea and Japan. You know, allow oil to move through there, but not allow it to move, like, through to Europe or to America. At the very least, like, these are probably things they're considering doing. And Russia, natural allies. I mean, China doesn't really like Russia. They don't really like each other. They're just positioned against Western hegemony. If there was a way for China to selectively benefit alongside South Korea and Japan, but Russia stopped benefiting from the global increase in oil prices, that would be nice. But unfortunately, I don't really think that's happening. At the end of the day, like, America and Israel produced this outcome, you know? They did the thing that empowers Iran, empowers China, empowers Russia. They fucked up. China does not like Japan? No, but they have been collaborating more since Trump took power. Ever since Trump's big, you know, tariff day, his liberation day or whatever, they have been establishing closer economic ties because they recognize that, again, Pax Americana is over and we're getting to more of a, you know, regional real politics situation, which is unfortunate because it does mean the collapse of the global liberal order. But if it's going to collapse, they probably want to have it happen on their terms. You get me. But Takaichi am I Takaichi, right? Is in office right now. Yeah, but I don't think that's going to hold. Isn't her popularity waning, like, really, really quickly? I think that in the long run, well, I guess there's two ways this could go, right? Like, there is a possibility that China ends up nurturing better relationship with its neighbors because the American political and military blanket is faltering, or it could go the other way, and China could, like, make a bid for Taiwan and blow things up with Japan and South Korea as well. I'm not really sure. It's just interesting that the entire world is being forced to like reshuffle in this big game of musical chairs that we've started, you know? With Pax Americana ending and our military umbrella folding closed, every country in the world has to reevaluate its relationship with its neighbors because security is no longer promised by being friends with America. I really don't think we would intervene to defend Taiwan right now. I really don't. Takaichi? It's Takaichi? Oh, I thought with K-A-I you would pronounce the vowels separately. Takaichi, not Takaichi. No, it is Takaichi. 1 second. Let me Yeah, Takaichi. I was correct. Fuck you. Trying to make me doubt myself. It's an accent thing, I think. Anglicized Japanese is very, very, very easy to pronounce because they don't do the thing that German and English and French and so on. It's not their language. It's us phonetically translating their language into our characters, which means that we've translated it in a way where they don't have like hidden sounds or mixed vowels or whatever, you know? Like we translate it into our alphabet in a way that's most comprehensible to us. Leave German out of your idiotic pronunciation issues. Yeah, I guess German's a lot more consistent than French or English. Just to share why now is worse than 2011 to 2013, even though oil was 100 plus back then. Two different forces. 2011 to 13 was demand pull, huge build out in Asia, so pricey oil meant no new infra / slow build out. Now it's a supply crunch. Yeah. Oil being 100 plus back then was a more healthy byproduct of the supply demand curve. It was a better and more natural byproduct of just a raise in demand and the market trying to catch up to accommodate it, rather than what's happening now, which is us already getting accustomed to a certain level and then it's just being crunched, causing us to dig into our reserves. Yeah, I saw Contra saying that making anti-Platinum posts or whatever. I just don't. Yeah, I don't really think that there's much point in going over that. I don't think that she's credible or interesting. Like it goes back to like the reasons why people disagree or have their opinions are really important, and for her and for a lot of other people, it kind of seems to fall back on like well, I've had negative experiences with the online left, so I'm going to frame everything in the world through the context of that or through those experiences. That is how I used to be to an extent, like early on in the channel, but I grew out of it. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, now for me, it's like embarrassing to think about. Like in this political environment, if I woke up and I was like, yeah, the country's dying, but you know what really matters? I need to go on here and act like the Twitter leftists are why this is the fundamental problem with the left, it's just, yeah, I don't know, it just comes across embarrassing to me, I guess. It's worth pointing out that I've also largely not been attacking liberals over ideological differences that I have with them, with the exception of people who aren't even like acting out of ideological liberalism, but rather are just defending the ineffectiveness of the Democratic Party. Like, in my opinion, I might be attacking liberals, the group designation, when I go after Zionists, but I'm certainly not attacking liberals, the political ideology, because Zionism is not liberal. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not out here going live being like, yeah, man, the real problem with America is like liberal wine moms in Minneapolis. It's just not, it's not the nature of the issue. It's crazy. You should check out the game Esoteric Ebb. Is it on Steam? It's like a fantasy Disco Elysium light. Well, let me take a look. Let me pop open Steam. Logging in? Yeah, you better log in. Esoteric Ebb. Oh, it's on my wish list. Okay, yeah, it's on my wish list. I've seen this, yeah. Hey, I need to add Mina the Hollower to my wish list as well. I thought I had it on my wish list, but then I remembered that I didn't have it on my wish list. There we go. Got that on there. I got to clear out my wish list. Right now, what am I doing? The farmer was replaced, basically beat it. I can uninstall this. I beat it. Remove from in progress, uninstall. I'm satisfied with the level of programming performance I got there. I've never finished Cyberpunk 2077. I should get around to that. Chrono Trigger, Citizen Sleeper, Fallout, Hylix 2, I Am Your Beast, and Off. And I want to get to A10 and Slay the Spire 2. It's a lot of games, man. A lot of games. And I've been so busy lately. Yeah, I've really been enjoying the game streams lately, too. I am a little bit tempted to, after RA9, to put Deltarune back even further, now that Chapter 5's coming out soon, and maybe do the Disco Elysium playthrough. Maybe Disco, then Deltarune? I don't think anyone's going to complain about me playing Disco Elysium. Like, even if I'm fucking up the game schedule a little bit, nobody's going to fucking complain about me playing Disco Elysium. The content's just too good. Is Deltarune a good stream game? I'm not sure, which is kind of the reason why I'm a little bit trepidatious about it. Maybe it won't be. I'm going to have to, like, do voices for everyone. I have no idea if that'd even be a good stream game. Maybe I don't want to do that on stream. Maybe I shouldn't have. I don't know if that's a good stream game. I don't know. I'll think about it. Disco Elysium will be a fine stream game. Disco's a worse stream game? I disagree. People in chat will be happy. They'll be happy. Play Zero Parades for Dead Spies. Is that the game made by Zaum? On stream or not, whatever people's attitudes towards those who stayed at Zaum, the writing is, at a minimum, disco quality. Oh, hold your horses. I would be astonished if it was Disco Elysium quality. I am willing to play it. You know, I'll add it to my wish list right now. But at a minimum disco quality, that's a crazy claim. You know, that's a very high bar. Disco Elysium is literally the best written game. Bar none. I don't even think that's contestable. So I don't have like a standard. You know? Zero Parades for Dead Spies. Zero Parades for Dead Spies. I'll add it. I'll add it to the thingamajig. Zero Parades for Dead Spies. $36! Nah, that's fine. I'm pretending like I can't afford that. There we go. Have you tried Nier Automata? Yeah, I gold starred Nier Automata. I got every achievement, even those fuck-ass fishing achievements. And I was straight gooning the whole time, just like the devs intended. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can't believe this WP template exists. WP? Wikipedia? Authoritarian drift during the second Trump administration sidebar? Oh, you mean like it's a whole like top-level category? Yeah. This will be a useful one. Project Esther. Heritage Foundation. An aim to suppress pro-Palestinian protests as what it classifies as anti-Semitism. Yay. The effort has received support from several evangelical Christian orgs, but no major Jewish ones. Huh. Interesting. They overcommitted to the bit. See, look at that. We're all learning today. I was rewatching Evangelion semi-recently, and given recent events, the plot line of an impossibly connected death cult directing the world to its doom hit a bit. I actually disagree with what you're implying here, because the problem is that in Evangelion, Seal, the death cult, was not a product of material conditions. Or to say that in a less gay Twitter way, they were a death cult because they had access to esoteric information that they were using to fulfill a prophecy. But in the real world, what we're dealing with is just the natural human consequence of way the fuck too much power being put in the hands of too small a group of people who have too few reality checks. You know what I mean? Like, SEAL was a hyper competent, secret, nefarious organization, but the actual forces that are tearing the world apart are super public and super evident and are just a byproduct of the systems that we have willingly built. But SEAL wasn't really a byproduct of the existing real systems. You know what I mean? You get me. You get me. Me and Mila survived the evil British heat wave. Anyway, rate the fit. We can't rate fits. We can't rate fits. That's also a dangerous road to go down. We can't rate fits. I know how this goes. I see down the path. You know? We have to be careful. We can't do it. We can't do it. But it's money. Well, a second problem is that I opened the link and the images aren't loading. So that's like an additional concern. Oh, no, wait, now they're loading. Hell yeah. You got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that.